Hello again, Doc on the Clock with more Mr. ROM full play number 3, Lagrange Point. I haven't contributed the person who has who sent this in for a while, so it's Izzy. Anyway, we're near the entry to Saram City, and we have new enemies, Horsaroos. They like to lower your defense. I really don't need that. I don't need any of that status stuff. Anyway, this is the area that I was kind of looking around a little bit earlier. And there's nothing really here except for the entrance to Saram City. So, you haven't missed anything. And I haven't missed these enemies calling for reinforcements. Fortunately, this one is easy. There are some harder battles coming up, though. We have more new enemies coming. I think this battle is where we see the next new enemy. Yep, they are called grass owls. They are neither grass nor owl, as far as I can tell. But they do a lot more damage, and they have a lot of resilience. It's hard to get through their defenses. This is going to become an issue later on. So right down here is where we're supposed to go. So naturally, I want to explore around a little bit to make sure I don't miss something. Now, in hindsight, there's nothing to miss, so I already know that. But me in real time did not know that. And so I just kind of went out and did what I wanted to do. I'll come back to bite me a little bit. Yeah, remember how I said I like these grasshopper things? That's because I don't like these grass owl things. Lots of damage, lots of HP. It takes all 4 of my characters to just take out one. This is going to become an issue very shortly here. As is that other phenomenon I talked about where everyone attacks Chris. Because, hey, it's reinforcements, and guess what we have? 6 grass owls. 6 grass owls. My luck is not holding out this time. Now, look at that. Literally all 5 of them attacked Chris. Of course she's in panic, because after you take 5 hits in a row from these things, you kind of enter panic. This puts me in kind of a bind, because Gene is the healer, but he's also the one that has the strongest direct attack. So, that leaves me with kind of spending a lot of BP healing up Chris, because she's going to die if I don't. Because so far, not a single one of these attacks has targeted any other party member. Literally not one. This cannot be accidental. But I don't know why it's a thing. And yet, I have to keep healing her up, because otherwise she's gonna die. Or at least go unconscious. I don't think I can undo unconsciousness. I don't even have enough BP to do a cheer, so... In a rare event, Doc uses an item. Fortunately, I'm able to outlast those grass owls, so... That was a painful battle, though. This led to a couple level ups, but holy smokes. All of the enemies targeting one of my characters, especially the one that has the lowest amount of HP, that really is a pain. So, yeah. And that was all for nothing, so joy of joys. And another thing that I almost never do. I ran from that battle, and that's not going to be the last time. Yeah, the run command is going to start being something that gets more use. And fortunately in this game, it's actually really easy to run, as far as I have been able to experience. I've yet to have it fail to run in any battle, so... That reminds me of Lufia 2, where we're almost guaranteed to be able to run from any given battle, if it's not a boss. Yeah, more reinforcements, so this time it's Grouchos. They're such nothing burgers. It's really kind of refreshing after those grass hunts. Alright, in we go. This is not Saram City yet, we have to go through an underground passage. Because nothing is ever easy, but at least we have a place to heal up. Which I'll be using a couple of times. Believe me. And I forgot to save that time, so I do it now. But yeah, if we come here without the card, that guy is just in the way. He doesn't let us pass. He says we need a ceramic card to get to Ceram City. But instead, now he's talking about Marita, who is apparently important. Could have fooled me, because he doesn't do anything except yammer on in battle, as far as my experience is. Anyway, we've got some new enemies in here. This enemy is the Crusher. Crushers have high attack power and hit you twice, but they have very little defense, so they're not too terribly bad. The same can't be said about these guys. Armor mobiles are an incredible pain. They have huge amounts of defense and HP, and they drain your BP. They don't do a ton of damage, but the BP drain alone makes them not worth fighting. This is the last time you'll see me battle them. I will be running away from any subsequent battles with these guys because this just isn't worth it. They don't do a lot of damage, like I said, but it can add up over time. They do enough that it's not like a trivial amount. As it's hardly like they're doing like 2 damage. At least they're spreading out a little bit more. And they're spreading out the BP drain too. And we have more new enemies. These guys are slogs. And that is an apt description of what their battles can be like, too. Unlike their recolored earlier versions, the Bug Loss, they do not cause anemia. However, they do cause another status effect. Yep, they put us to sleep. You know how much I love sleep. Also, I like to point out that their attack is just baring their fangs. You know, not biting, just, you know, showing their teeth a little bit. That apparently hurts me. These might be the most powerful enemies in the game. All it takes is just menacingly, a menacing look to do damage. Alright, now safely through, we get the power kit. No one can use it. At least no one that we have. I don't know how the party is going to work in this game, because I have yet to see a reordering or anything like that, but I'm sure I'll find out at some point. So, we have another new enemy, Boris the Spider. Now, I haven't seen this enemy yet, but I just get this feeling like it's one that I want to be taking on pretty quickly. This proves to be a very good impression. Because not only does Boris do a lot of damage, he also has another trick up his sleeve. Yep, he's an enemy healer. Who doesn't love enemies being healers in any game? I mean, look, I know it's fair that enemies should have the chance to be able to heal too, but fair or not, it makes every battle last about 3 times longer when there's a healer in there. And there's nothing worse than that, having that enemy that you've got right down almost the very end of his life, and then he gets a full restore from some random schmo enemy that you can't target, and yeah, I am not a big fan of that. And but you pair them with enemies that can put you to sleep and make it harder for you to attack too, so thus giving your enemies more time to actually heal. Ugh, what a mix. But you know what's even better? When there's 3 of them. I very strongly considered running from this battle, but I decided to go through it just because I wanted the experience and money. And I was already planning on going to heal, so I wasn't really too worried about just wasting a bunch of BP on healing. But yeah, this battle takes a while. That's what happens when you have enemy healers. So onward we go, down into the depths. And I very nearly pass up this door because I think that's where I'm supposed to go, but I do come back for it. Glad I do too, because it's just bonus content. But we have more battles. Fortunately, when you don't have, when you have just a bunch of slogs, it is kind of a slow battle, but it's not too challenging of a battle. They don't do too much damage. And everything does a little bit more damage than the earlier enemies were doing, but not so much that I can't endure it. His crushers on their own are like nothing too. We've got like no defense. It's the glass cannon effect. Fully in effect. We definitely wanted to go in here because we got robo parts, which we can give to Tick. I have no idea if we're going to get another robot character later on who I might want to have saved parts for, but I'm just at the moment assuming no. And if I'm proven wrong about that, then well, I will. I'll have to suffer that later. But it boosts his attack quite a bit, and it gives him a new attack. And Tick's new attack is it targets all enemies rather than just one, which is a good thing because it's more powerful than Dennis's multi-hit gun at this point. That's good for getting rid of some of those groups of enemies. Over here, we have another little side room, and this gets us an atomic knife. Atomic knife is, of course, going on Gene, and it does improve his power a fair bit. Now, I noticed that one has an R2 by it. I'm assuming that's the ranks that they were talking about earlier. And you have to be at a certain level in order to use weapons of a higher rank. Clearly, I'm at the level right now. And it's cutscene time! With Tam just going ahead randomly. And immediately running into something absolutely awful. And, well, that's the end of Tam. Randomly. Yes, that's what I mean. That's what I meant by a little too much gratuitous death. This is supposed to be some kind of emotional moment, but we never connected with Tam at all. He was just there. So his dying is just kind of... it's just for the sake of having him die. And yes, we have a Reggie here again. He's the one responsible for Dam's death, and he's intending to be responsible for our deaths as well. He's definitely going to try, and it's definitely going to be not the most pleasant experience. Reggie has one attack that I'm aware of. It's this attack. It hits every single one of your party members without fail, and it does a boatload of damage. Which means we don't really get to use Gene's awesome atomic knife all that much, because he's going to be spending most of the battle healing. Mind you, I see the wolf creature at the bottom. I have absolutely no idea what that is on top. It looks like... It looks like a rutabaga with claws. It's just the weirdest looking thing. I don't understand it. It's visually confusing. It doesn't matter if it's visually confusing though, because it's still going to murder us silly. If we give it the opportunity. And I am doing everything in my power to not give it the opportunity. But it just does so much damage. And I am doing very little damage, as you can see. Like my second level heal, it recovers about 1,000. It recovers 1,000 HP. More than half of that is taken away in just one turn. And it's one of those cases where I just kind of have to hope I have enough items to outlast it, but honestly, it doesn't look like I'm going to. I mean, even Dennis is feeling the pain, you know things are going bad. I spent that entire turn healing. Like 60% of that healing is just gone in one turn. And how do you counter that at all? So at this point, I just kind of give up and figure I'm gonna have to restart. But that's not the case, because Aregi gets paged, and he runs away. Yeah, I feel pretty lucky after that. Tam rests in peace. This anger becomes flames written on Gene's heart. Yeah, except they're not really written on my heart because I don't really care all that much about the kid. I'm sorry, but I wasn't given much reason to. He was there. He was basically existed to die, and that's not a plot point I enjoy in most cases. Anyway, that's all for me for now. We're in Ceram City, we'll explore it more next time. Until then, this is Doc. I'll see you later.